Welcome to The Moment with Kunle and Bola Akindele, and I am Bamkole Akintayo. The Moment is a new virtual series that entails adding value to you and preparing you for every crucial moment in life. I'm super excited about today's discussion. Now, do me a favor, text, call, or tag someone that The Moment is live. It's about to go down. Okay, enough said. Let's get right into what God has for us today.
Welcome to The Moment. Good to be with you again in the month of May. I want to thank God for your life, that you are able to be here with me again this evening. And I want to thank God that the different moments that we have been going through since the year 2019, it's going to an end. I mean, when I say that, I mean COVID. You see, COVID is coming to an end. Why did I say that? This world is the place that God has given us. COVID is a stranger, and COVID has no choice. COVID has created different types of moments. People have gone through different types of moments. You have experienced different types of moments. I have experienced different types of moments. But you know what is important? That we are all overcomers. We have overcome. And I want you to know that. I want you to let that sink down in you, that you have overcome. You see, the moment you know how valuable you are, your life begins to take a new turn. Your life begins to change. And that is where you begin to experience the moment. You got to know how valuable you are. I said this in our last episode, that you are a treasure. You are. You are. In case anybody call you anything less than a treasure, I want you to remind yourself. Say to yourself, as we are together this evening, I am a treasure. I'm valuable. Yes, you are. That moment of life that says you are not valuable, it's lying. You are a treasure. The world needs you. Your world needs you. You matter. And that's why we want to begin to talk about the moment. The moment of life. Because every one of us goes through a moment of life. One moment or the other. We go through that. We experience that. You see? Like where we are right now, sitting down, like I'm sitting down right now, like maybe you are sitting down, maybe wherever you are now, listening to me, you are actually experiencing a moment. So important. It's a moment. Some moments are great. Some moments are terrible. Terrible. I mean terrible. Horrible. Whatever other word that we can use. They're not good. You see, I remember something that happened in 1817. I thank God I was able to, read about that in the city of Chicago. They call it the Great Chicago Fire. You see, I don't think, well, let's say in this 21st century that we are experiencing fire, but Chicago at that time experienced something horrible. 1871. That was when it happened. That fire destroyed 3.3, I think about 30.3 square mile. You see, in the main city of Chicago, over 100,000 residents were left homeless. Hear that. Over 100,000 people lost their homes. Don't have anywhere to be. Approximately 300 people died. Can you imagine what type of a moment that is? In Chicago at that particular time, and also, let's say in the entire United States of America, that was a moment of sorrow. That was a terrible moment. In the city of Chicago, it was a down moment. But you know what happened? Something stood out. That fire started in October the 8th, 1871. There was this guy that stood out within the space of 5 days that fire happened. It started on the 8th of October, and this guy is named William D. Kerfoot. He was a businessman in that same city of Chicago. He lost everything concerning his business, just like other people lost it. And this guy, in the story that we read about him, I'm talking about Kerfoot right now. After the fire burned everything down, he showed up. You see, I have the statement that he made. I mean, he wrote a sign. He went back to his business place and put a sign there. He said, "All gone, but wife, children, and energy." All gone, but wife, children, and energy. In the midst of sorrow, and the midst of pain, terrible moment, Kerfoot says, everything lost, everything gone. But he stood there in his business place in that rubble and then said, "Hey, business resume as usual tomorrow." Wow. Kerfoot must have seen something that others didn't see. He saw something. How can you lose everything in a fire, and the following day you showed up in the midst of the rubble? You know the emotion that runs at that time when everything is lost like that. The emotion is not great. You see, it's an emotion of sorrow, emotion of pain. Everything is down. But Kerfoot saw something different. And I remember that I told us in our last episode, I said, what you see matters a lot. You see? It's so important what you see. You see? You see, what you see in the moment determines what your next experience will be. What you see. And I know that somebody is asking, how can I see in the midst of sorrow and pain? And you know something? Look at this. Look at this. In the midst of situations like that, most of the time, what we see is what we're going through. What we see is the worst moment than the moment that we are in. It happens. It's natural. You see, you can't fault anybody for that. What everybody see is everything about this business was lost. Sometimes you can see beyond where you were standing. Sometimes it's so you can't even have a hope for tomorrow. But for this guy, he said business resumed tomorrow. Everything was lost. His wife, his children, and energy was not lost. So if there is energy, that means what? Okay, business can continue. Where did he get the energy from? The energy came from what he was saying at the moment. He was saying beyond what others see. I said this now. I said, what you see in the moment determines what your next experience will be. And the great question you have to ask yourself is, what is it that will help you to see the moment? Because if you can't see the moment, you cannot experience the moment. It's not possible. It's not possible. And you may ask the question, like I said before, that what is the moment? What is it? What's the moment? You see, the moment is the best moment of a moment. The moment is the best moment of a moment. Everybody goes through a moment. Look at it now. Look at it now. This is a moment. You may ask yourself, what is the best moment of this moment? Or what is the moment of this moment? Okay, let's look at it together. I'm sitting down here. I'm sitting in front of camera. Light is shining on me. I'm talking live on different platforms. I'm on the church website. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. So what is the best moment of this very moment now? Do you know the best moment? The best moment of this very moment is that I am connecting with you. What do I mean by that? I have the opportunity to talk. I have the opportunity to be with you. That is one of the best moments of this moment. I have to look beyond this very one in order for me to be able to experience that one. That means what? I have the opportunity to connect with you. Wow, that is a great moment. It goes beyond me just sitting down in front of the camera. It could be boring sometimes, honestly. Just sitting in front of the camera, talking to the camera. You're not talking to human beings. But that I can see beyond this camera means that I can see the moment. And that means beyond this camera, it's you. You are there. You see, physically I can't see you. But I know, I'm so sure, I'm so confident that you are there. That means what? That is the moment. That is the moment that is the best of a moment. You understand what I'm saying? You see? So, you have to look at it that way in everything that you do. That in every moment that you are in, there is the moment. In that moment. Look at it. Sometimes we go through times that are not so great, not good. Look at the time of the pandemic, that everything shut down unexpectedly. Fear dropped on people. People started losing jobs. You see, we can do what we will normally do. We are not free. You know, we can't go anywhere that we want to go. Do you know that in the midst of that moment, there is the moment? I heard somebody talking. He said during the COVID, he said he was depressed because what he will normally do, he couldn't do it. It's like he doesn't know what next to do, how to go forward. Then he now asked a businessman a question. That when you are going through times that are not okay, there are times that business goes great, economy is excellent. There are times that the economy, excuse me, economy is not good. So what do? Do you know how the businessman answered him? That businessman said, when economy is good, we make money. When economy is not good, we make money. did you hear that? Do you know what it's trying to say? That in every moment, we do what we do best. Whether the moment is good or the moment is not good, we focus on what we do best so that we can enjoy the best of that moment. No matter what a moment is, hear me somebody this evening. No matter what a moment is, there is the moment in that very moment. Let me share this with you also. I had the opportunity of being together with a couple of friends. We do almost the same thing, and one of our friends had this going through, a moment that you can call like a salt sugar like moment. You got a promotion, great, right? When you hear promotion, excellent, right? But the promotion brought pain, brought sorrow, no clarity. Promotion supposed to bring joy, rejoicing, but there was a lot of stuff that was happening that is required of you, that you have to be able to produce, but the system or where you are promoted to, things were not really gonna be so good for you to be able to achieve that with your promotion. So he was going through a moment, and then we were now together, and while we were together, remember, he was going through a moment. You see, there was an opportunity. It was like a check was written. A blank check was given to all of us. Was presented, and it's looking like who's going to pick it up. He was the person who needed it most. But do you know something? He didn't see the blank check. I don't mean blank check physically. The opportunity that was given was like a blank check. Do you know something? He didn't see the opportunity. He didn't see the blank check. You know why? The moment he was in has captured him, engulfed him. So in that moment, he couldn't see the moment. And that's what I'm saying. That when we are in your next experience, it's very important. It's very important. So what do you need to do? With one major thing that I want to give you this evening is, when you are in a moment, this is what you need to do. Believe that the moment is in existence. Believe that the moment exists in every moment of life. You got to believe that. Let me say that again. Believe that the moment exists in every moment of life. When I say believe, what do I mean? I mean confidently assure yourself. You've got to confidently assure yourself in every moment of life that there is the moment. Remember that I said the moment is the best moment of a moment. Remember that I said that. So you have to be so confident. You have to confidently assure yourself that there is the best moment in this a moment that I'm going through. So no matter what moment that we are in, I love the way Apostle Paul put it. Let's look at what Apostle Paul, says in Second Corinthians chapter 4. Look at it in verse 8 and 9. Second Corinthians chapter 4. It says, though we experience every kind of pressure, we're not crushed. At times, we don't know what to do. But quitting is not an option. Did you hear that? It says what? We go through different experience. We go through different moments. But he said, in that moment that we are going through, quitting is not an option. You see, so we are not looking for a way of escape. We are not trying to quit what we are doing. What we are doing is what? We are looking ahead beyond that moment to be able to see the moment. Look at verse 9 of that same scripture that we read. Look at the verse 9. Look at it now. Verse 9. It says, we are persecuted, by others, but God has not forsaken us. We may be knocked down, but what? Not out. We may be knocked down. That means that situation may knock you down. But what? I refuse to be knocked out. That means in the midst of the things that knock me down, I still see the best moment. There is the best in it. And that's why I love what Apostle Paul said there. If you go down again in that same 2 Corinthians chapter 4, go to verse 17. In verse 17, look at what it says. Verse 17. It says, for our present troubles are small and won't last very long. Look at how he put it. Small. Won't last very long. I want you to take note of that. Yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. Look at that. It says what? That moment that you are in produced for you. What? It says it produced for you glory that vastly outweighs what you are experiencing. It says that very moment produced the moment. So every moment produce the moment. In every moment, the moment exists. What you got to do is to believe without any shadow of doubt that in this moment that I am in, there is the moment. And the moment is the best moment of any moment, of a moment in life. He said you got to believe that. Then look at verse 18. Look at what it says in verse 18. In verse 18 of that same scripture, it says, so we don't look at the troubles we can see now. Look at that. Look at that. He says, we don't look at the trouble that we can see now. Rather, we fix our gaze on things that cannot be seen. That means we refocus our mind. Hear this, somebody. The things that we go through in life really want to keep us looking or keeping our mind on them. You know, I'm going through pain here. I'm going through this situation here. You know, I'm going through that situation. Those situations of life are like that. They are looking for focus. They are looking for attention. They want to hold us. But look at what that verse 18 says. Look at what it says in that verse 18. It says, we fix our gaze on things that cannot be seen. That means we fix our mind on the moment. The moment is not what we are seeing in a moment that we are in. Understand that? We're not seeing the moment physically. But we have to look beyond a moment so that we can see the moment. So, one major thing, that major thing, I want to repeat it now because that's where I want to leave you this evening. That's what I want you to go with this evening. Last episode, the focus was to value yourself, that you are a treasure. The focus today is believe that the moment exists in every moment of life. Believe. Meaning what? Confidently assure yourself that there is the best moment, better than this moment that I am in, that exists in this moment that I am in at the moment. Did you see how I put it? There is a moment which is the best moment, which is better than the moment that I am in. Hey, Jesus Christ, after those guys were with him for several hours of the day, in the evening he looked at them. These folks are hungry. They got to eat. He asked Philip, how do we get food for this? Philip said, how much food can we buy that will feed these guys? But the Bible says he already knew what he was going to do. That means he saw beyond the problem of that moment, of that very moment. That means he can see the moment. You have to see the moment. You have to see the moment. I want to leave you with this. Always know this, that you are better than what you see, more than what you know, greater than what you look like. You are better than what you see, greater than what you know. You got to go with that all the time. Believe that the moment is what available, exists in every moment of life. Good to be with you this evening. Have a wonderful and a great weekend. I'll see you again next month.
I believe you've been inspired today. To see more content, subscribe to our YouTube page and other social media platforms. Remember, you're such a treasure. You're better than what you see, more than what you know, and greater than what you look like.
Imagination is the ability to see with your heart what you cannot see with your eyes. Isaiah chapter 26 verse 3. You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you.
DIC Los Angeles, church with a difference.